Hello. Hello. I've hopped on here today to ask you a question. I hope everyone can see me. I hope everyone can hear me. But have you ever looked at everything that you're eating and thought, I'm eating healthy, so why isn't this working? Because if you ever felt that way, I want you to stick with me here for just a few minutes today. And if you are catching me live, I want you to tell me in the comments, have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, but your weight just isn't responding? Because I hear this all the time. Let me know in the comments if you are catching me live here today. Let me know if you feel like you are eating healthy already, but your weight is not responding. I'm trying to get my comments up here so that way I can see if there's any comments coming in. And there I am. There I am. All right. So, hello, my friends. Welcome to It's Tea Time Live with Gidget. I'm so glad that you're here. I know that there are so many new faces here, and I wanted to come on live today just so that you can see my face so I can introduce myself to you. And yes, I've decided I am going to try my best to come on here at least once a week and do my tea time live with you so that we can get to know each other and start having conversations. So go ahead and grab your cup of tea or coffee if that's more your style, and let's chat here for just a few minutes. Hi, babe. Thanks for catching. All right. And if you are here watching the replay, that's okay too. I want you to say hello to me in the comments and let me know that you're here. I want you to be interactive as well. Now, today I want to talk about something I hear from women all the time. Gidget, I eat healthy. Why am I still not losing weight? And I think this is such an important conversation because so many women immediately assume that if the scale isn't moving, that they must be doing something wrong. But what if that's not actually the problem? Maybe so let's talk about what eating healthy really means. Maybe you're eating the salads, right? Maybe you're choosing healthier foods. You're trying to stay away from the junk food. You've cut back on certain things. Maybe you've been watching your portions. Maybe you've tried keto, low carb, counting calories, points, macros, micros. Maybe you have tried the intermittent fasting. Maybe you've done all of the above, right? And you're still standing there looking at the scale thinking, what else am I supposed to do? Anybody? I want you to let me know. Drop it in the comments if you have ever felt like that. Because I want you to know something. I get it. I have absolutely been there. And I remember what it felt like to constantly question myself. Am I eating the wrong foods? Am I eating too much? Should I cut carbs? Should I cut carbs out completely? Maybe I'm not exercising enough. Should I exercise harder? Should I eat less? Maybe I just need to be more disciplined, or maybe I just don't have the willpower that it takes. And honestly, this is exhausting because when you're already dealing with fibromyalgia and fatigue, you don't exactly have unlimited energy to spend trying every new diet or exercise program that comes along, right? You're already tired. You're already dealing with pain, and then you're being told, just eat less and exercise more. But what happens when you're already running on empty, right? And here's where I want to challenge something today. Sometimes we assume that because a food is considered healthy, it automatically means that it's going to work well for our individual body. And those aren't necessarily the same things, right? Think about it. You can eat something that is considered a perfectly healthy food and still not feel your best afterwards. Maybe you're hungry again an hour later. Maybe you feel sluggish. Maybe you're dealing with cravings. Maybe you feel bloated or nasty or uncomfortable afterwards, right? Maybe your energy tanks. And I'm not saying that one food is automatically bad. That's not what I'm saying at all here. What I'm saying is that your body gets to vote. And that's something that I wish more women understood. So let me ask, I want you to think about what you ate yesterday. Not whether it was good, not whether it was bad, just think about how you felt afterwards, right? Did you have steady energy after you ate that meal? Did you crash afterwards? Were you satisfied? Maybe you were hungry again shortly after. Did you feel good the rest of the day? Did you feel sluggish? I'd love for you to put one word in the comments for me today. So if you're here live or if you are catching the replay, I want you to put one word in the comment below that shows how you usually feel after you eat a meal. Do you feel energized? Or do you feel bloated? Maybe you feel tired. Are you satisfied? Are you still hungry? Do you feel sluggish? I want you to tell me. Tell me in the comments, even if you're catching the replay, I would love to hear from you, because here's what I want you to consider. What if the problem isn't that you aren't trying hard enough? What if you've simply never learned what works best for your body as an individual? That's a completely different conversation, isn't it? Because instead of saying, tired, yep, unfortunately, that's a normal one. Because instead of saying, what's wrong with me, we can start asking, what can I learn from my body? What is my body trying to tell me? That's a much more empowering question, right? And this is one of the biggest reasons that I coach differently. I don't want you spending the rest of your life jumping from one diet to another, looking for the next free downloadable PDF or video series that you think is going to finally give you answers. I don't want you constantly wondering, can I eat this? Should I eat that? Is this going to make me gain weight? Do I need to cut this out, or do I need to cut that out? Because that is what creates so much food noise. Sick. Ugh, that's horrible. Right? That is what creates so much food noise. And when you're constantly thinking about food, it becomes exhausting. So what I want to help you to understand is how to understand your body. What foods seem to support your energy? What foods may not be supporting your goals? What does a satisfying meal look like for you? What habits actually fit your life, right? And how can you make healthy choices without feeling like you're following some rigid set of rules? Because here's what I really want for you. I don't just want you to lose weight. Of course, I know that matters, but I want you to think about what losing that weight would actually give back to you. Maybe it's getting dressed in the morning without feeling frustrated or feeling like a busted can of biscuits. Maybe it's having more energy to play with your grandchildren. Maybe it's being able to go somewhere with your family without worrying about whether you're going to have enough energy, or without worrying about if you are going to need to cancel on them. right? Maybe it's taking a walk without feeling like your entire body is screaming at you. Maybe it's waking up. I'm trying to check the comments to see if anyone else is commenting. Thank you all for being here and watching. I'm so glad you're here. You know, maybe it's waking up and not immediately thinking, I am so exhausted already and I just got out of bed, right? Maybe it's looking in the mirror and finally recognizing yourself again. That's what I want you thinking about, because the number on the scale is only one piece of the picture. It's your life that you're trying to get back, not just losing the weight. So if you've been eating healthy and you're still stuck, please don't immediately decide that you're broken. And please don't decide that you're a failure. And please definitely do not tell yourself, well, I guess this is just my new norm, because it's not. Maybe you simply need a different approach, one that takes into consideration that you're not starting from the same place as everyone else. You have fibromyalgia, you have fatigue, you most likely are dealing with pain, right? And your energy most likely shifts from day to day. And your body may need a different strategy than the woman sitting next to you. And that's exactly what we work on inside my 90 Days to Thrive method. I don't just hand you another generic meal plan and say, here, follow this. Instead, I want you to learn how to understand your body. So we look at what you're currently doing. We look at what's working for you. We look at what's not working. And then we create a plan that makes sense for you. Because I don't want healthy choices to be something that you have to constantly force yourself to do. I want them to eventually become what you naturally do, right? That's when things start getting easier. That's when you're not starting over every single Monday. That's when you're not spending hours Googling what you should and shouldn't eat. That's when you start building confidence in yourself. So let me ask you this. If you could change one thing about how you're feeling right now, what would it be? I want you to put in the comments below. If you're here live or if you are catching the replay, maybe it's, I want more energy. Maybe it's less pain. Maybe it's losing weight. Maybe you want more confidence. Maybe you just want to feel like yourself again. I want you to put it in the comments for me, because I really want to know what you are struggling with. And I want you to know you're not the only one. And if you're sitting here thinking, okay, Gidget, this sounds like what I've been looking for, I would love to talk with you. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to know exactly what foods are causing your problems. You don't have to know what your perfect plan should be. That's the conversation that you and I are going to have together. Less pain. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. So I just want you to know that if you know having a conversation like this would be helpful, I want you to comment chat below and let's get you on my calendar. We are going to talk about where you are right now, what you've tried, what you're struggling with, and where you want to go. And I'll help you understand what working together could look like. There's no pressure. I simply want to help you see that there may be another way forward. So if you've been eating healthy and you still feel stuck, I want you to remember this. You're not broken, you're not lazy, and you haven't necessarily failed. Maybe you just haven't learned how to work with your body. And listen, my friend, that's exactly what I want to help you do. I want you to lose weight. I want you to get your energy back. And more than anything, I want you to get your life back, right? Because you deserve to feel good in your own body again. You shouldn't have to go through this alone and suffering. There is a better way. All right. All right, my friends. Thank you for being here. Until our next tea time, I want you to be kind to yourself, stop fighting your body, and start understanding it. I'll see you next time.